I'm clicking the start button, Dan, put as hard as I can, and nothing's happening.
Well, you gotta put the quarter in first into my PayPal. Then press start.
Here it goes.
Shelb sends Leanne a quarter.
I was about to say, you're making a joke. I'm signing in right now. Oh, yeah.
Pay to play D&D. I mean, people do that, but...
To account overview?
Oh my god,
They have that
Shells.
thing where, like, you can get paid for DMing, and I was thinking about doing that for a bit.
Yeah. But...
I believe it is called a side hustle.
I
And everyone's
Anyway, yeah,
got
let's
to
move.
have one.
actually don't have time for that, but yes. Last time on Horrible D&D Time, our crew was scattered. Aemond and Brimstone were arrested following the altercation in the streets, and Zelphine and Riley ran to hide at Korg's house. During the night, Zelphine was contacted by Jarlaxle, who had located where the missing Captain Silverton was. Zelphine asked the roguish drow to rescue the captain for information regarding what the Blade Brotherhood want with Riley. Jarlaxle agreed, but in exchange, he asked for Zelphine to kill Yanvin Illithade. Zelphine agreed to do the deed. Jarlaxle went on to explain that Riley was a kind of key to the veil between the planes. The Brotherhood leader, Radiance, had infused Riley with magic beyond the veil as a baby. Up until now, it had burst out in small, wild surges, but if she was allowed to use her full power, it would certainly tear a hole in the barriers between the planes of existence. With that, Jarlaxle vanished into the night for Zelphine to stew on this, but promised that they would find the captain in his home by the morning. Across town in jail, Brimstone found himself visited by a few different people. First, a vision of the devil Zariel, egging him on to kill more Brotherhood members. Second, Minerva Stormberg, a cleric of Tyr, who interrogated him on the crimes that had occurred. She let slip that she worked with Renaud Dawnsword, a man whom Aemon knows all too well. Minerva also said that she disliked Tyrell Bladestone, the leader of the Hunter's Claw, but tried to hint to Brimstone that it would be not in his best interest to cause a scene in the middle of town. Back with Zelphine and Riley, they headed over to Perseverance Silverton's house and found the man had indeed been returned to his house, just as Jarlaxle had said. He told him that he had been held by the Brotherhood, visited by the Zentarum members, asking about the Viper. The small group exchanged information, and then Zelphine pulled the captain aside and told the captain that she was the infamous Viper that he had been searching for his whole life. The captain quickly demanded to know if she had killed his parents. Upon getting an answer of no, he stormed out of the study, leaving Zelphine among the web of scattered papers, red yarn, and pins on the Viper's past deeds. And we'll cut back now to the watch station, and Aemond, you've been sitting in a cell. You haven't been treated poorly, but you haven't seen Brimstone since you arrived. Any guard you've seen gives you an apologetic look before shuffling along. It's now that you hear footsteps down the corridor and you see them. Major Tormund, the dark-skinned elf and Ward Civilar of the area. Walking next to him, you spot Minerva Stormberg, a woman whom is just as stony as the last time you saw her when she was teaching you about Tyr. And she would rap on your knuckles with a cane if you couldn't recite things back to her perfectly. She was a cleric, but not a kind one. Well, hello, Sir Aemond. It would be a lie if I said it would be surprising to see you here.
What exactly are you doing here?
My job, Aemond.
Is pestering me still your job after all these years? I would have figured you moved on to some other poor soul by now.
Oh, you know I've pestered so many over the years, but that is not what I'm here for today. I'm here to cast Zone of Truth, because you were caught killing people in the streets. And
I didn't. I killed demons in the streets, or devils. Big difference.
Yes, there is, and I taught you that, and you should know that.
What? What makes you think that I don't know that?
Because you got it wrong just now. Anyways,
I didn't kill anyone.
I'm not saying that you did. I'm saying
Well,
that
cast
people
the
are
stupid
dead.
zone of truth, and I'll prove it.
That's what I plan on doing. And yeah, she like does her
Wait,
little
no, isn't this a conflict of interest?
It's already been casted.
Eamon's gonna fail to save on purpose, and then say once he's in the zone of truth, this is definitely a conflict of interest.
You hear a sigh from Tormund as he like rubs his temples and goes, "She's the one that was assigned to us, Aemond. You know this is how this goes."
Oh, hey, Tormund. Good to see you again. Not you, though, Minerva.
Well, that is very hurtful, Aemond. I thought we had a wonderful relationship. She gives you like this really sharp smile.
Yeah, I think your Cain had a very good relationship with the back of my hands, and that's about it.
Wouldn't need to be smacked so much if you weren't so insolent in class. Anyways.
I was a good student. Zone of truth.
She kind of raises an eyebrow and goes, right. Anyways, for now, we
Speak
do have...
4 languages.
She kind of stops and goes, that has nothing to do with the current situation. Anyways, so, did you... that there was a murder took place, and was it you or your friend that murdered the tiefling?
It was in self-defense. Therefore, legally speaking, there was no murder.
A man is dead. Who killed that man?
In self-defense, it was my friend who did it.
Very well. Did you fight devils in the street?
I did.
Very well.
Abishai. No biggie.
Very well.
Killed one of them with my paladin skills.
Why exactly were you fighting in the streets to begin with?
Well, because some Blade Brotherhood lady came up and started trying to intimidate us. And then she summoned a bunch of minions and devils to try and defeat us.
So the Blade Brotherhood indeed have ties to devils. That is very important information.
Oh,
Thank you.
Congratulations. Wait, is sarcasm allowed in the zone of truth?
As long as it's truthful, then I suppose.
He must have worked real hard to figure that one out.
She kind of gives you a pointed look and goes, we don't know much about the Blade Brotherhood other than that they are a band of non-humans that seem to want to protect other non-humans. For a while, it seemed to not be causing much issues, but as of late...
But I don't understand. You were with an organization that loved killing non-humans trying to protect other non-humans. Zone of truth.
That is an inaccurate statement. Even though you are in the
Not
zone
the
of
way I
truth,
see it.
that is a matter of perspective. We bring order. We don't love to kill non-humans. We bring all kinds into our fold as long as they follow the followings of Tyr. Order is the important thing here.
Man, it's a lot of order. A lot of order. After you killed my dad and the entire region descended into civil war again. That was a lot of order you brought there. Good job with that one.
I was not in charge of that situation. That was Renault.
Well, tell him,
And from what I saw, it brought very much good to our order. As much as you dislike me, and as much as I dislike you, you are an asset to the Church of Tyr.
Not your church.
We are all the Church of Tyr, son.
I don't want any part of your church.
Yet you still wear our symbol. You still
It's
preach.
Tyr's symbol, not yours.
As I said, we are all the Church of Tyr.
Eamon kind of shakes his head.
If you really felt so poorly about us, you could have left for another order. And
I
yet,
did.
you still wear the Church of Tyr.
And yet I'm still in a different order.
Whether or not you are under Renault, it doesn't matter. As I said, you still work with the same God in mind.
I like my version better, quite frankly.
And when it comes down to it, you do realize that you still take orders from him at the end of the day.
Not from Reynold. And then Eamon just points up.
We all know that Tyr talks through Renault. That's what he tells people.
No. I personally believe that Renault's a big fucking liar.
I am so surprised you have not been expelled from the church. You've always been a troublemaker.
I was a troublemaker because you pushed me into it. You made me spar against adults when I was 12 years old. You think that was good for my self-esteem? You think that was good for my physical well-being? You think all of these scars are from rituals?
If you are to follow the Church of Tyr, that is the way that it goes.
Getting beat the shit out of by grown men the moment I hit puberty? That's the way it goes?
That's the way it goes. You can't become stronger unless you fight strong opponents.
I fought stronger opponents than you ever have.
Well, I'm not a paladin.
Zone of truth.
I'm not a paladin, so it doesn't really matter now, does it? She
Just
gives us
answer
my-
the rest. Just ask the rest of your... Sorry.
Very well. We are not here to discuss semantics, but I believe that is all the information we need. You said it was self-defense. You gave us a reason, and you told us indeed that devils were involved. That's all I really wanted to know. Now we're off to interrogate your friend, to make sure your stories line up. And before too long, I will be back. We will discuss what is to be done with the two of you.
Can I have my loot? I'm getting kind of bored here.
Well, that's not my problem now, is it? And she turns on her heels and leaves, and Tormund kind of looks at you and, like, rubs his temples again and goes, really, you really got to stop picking fights with her. And goes to follow her.
No regrets. Zone of truth. Well, not Zone of Truth anymore, but you get the idea.
Yeah,
No one.
the zone, as you say it, like, the magic circle that was on the ground fades.
Zone of truth.
All right, and now we're going to cut back to Percy's house. Hey, Zelphine, how you doing?
Ah! Okay, 2 questions. Maybe 3 questions. I've lost count. I don't remember. I'm just going to ask and we'll see what happens. Okay. How long has he been gone?
We'll say about 10 minutes at this point. And
Okay.
you hear, like, crashing in the kitchen at this point.
Okay, that was my next question. He went to the kitchen, and therefore I will not. Yeah, she's still just chilling in the study. I think, just in there kind of, like, tapping her fingers on the table, kind of looking around, doesn't really want to stand up. After a little while, she'll get her bag of undermellows out and get Party out of his little party pouch. And at some point, sitting in there by herself, she's just gonna burst into tears.
Awesome.
So that's how she is.
Oh, Zelfie. Awesome.
Awesome. So, this is great.
Hell yeah.
Riley, I think you ran upstairs to, like, nap. I can't remember what you did exactly.
Oh yeah. Riley definitely is doing like just kind of rolled up in a blanket, like a blanket burrito, and just zoning out until she falls asleep.
Yeah. It's midday, so you probably can't fall asleep right away, but it is at least comforting to be wrapped up in a blankie.
Yeah, honestly, she's been up all night, so it's like kind of just super exhausted, just amped up.
It's the new anti-magic field. It's anti-magic blanket burrito.
Oh yeah, it's protected from monsters.
It's like a weighted blanket. It makes you feel nice and secure.
Exactly.
God, I mean, Riley's a tailor, so like, let's fucking make that happen, bro.
Honestly, yeah. Powerful blanket. Heck yeah.
Cast calm emotions on you.
Look,
Ooh.
for the context of listeners, I live in the good old state of Arkansas. So I knew this family growing up where they had a weighted blanket that was like 20 years old. And the way they had done it is it was a quilt, and in every little like pocket of the quilt of the design was a quarter. And there was like $30 of quarters in that blanket, but it was so comfortable.
Oh, that's awesome. That's worth it. That's fucking worth it, though. I
It
like
was a
that.
very wholesome story. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So if they can do that, then Faerun can have weighted blankets.
I was gonna say, does Faerun have any weighted blankets?
Well,
Does Percy have weighted
Percy 100% has a weighted blanket.
Thank you.
You know Percy.
Riley, yeah. Riley snatched it and is definitely like rolled up in it.
Snooping through his house.
Just happens upon the weighted blanket, and one of the side rooms is just like, ah. Oh.
Mine now.
It's like,
Yeah.
this is mine. I'm grabbing it. He probably doesn't
know.
need it right now.
It's probably been out because Wesley's been using it.
Oh, 100%. It's probably
Yeah, oh,
it's probably in the guest room that you find yourself
Oh, yeah.
in, which is up on the second floor here.
this is Riley's room now. She claimed it. All right. Yep. Okay. Yep. She's wrapped up in that weighted blanket and just rolled up on the bed.
Yeah. And it's about another 10 minutes, so 20 minutes after Percy left the room, the door opens again to the study, and he finds you, like, mid-cry. He's holding a tray with, like, tea and cookies on it, and he kind of hurriedly throws it on a little table and sits down and, like, eyes you for a second. He grabs the whole cookie and shoves the whole thing in his mouth.
She like jumps as soon as he slams that tray down and is hurriedly trying to like, oh shit, oh fuck, trying to like dry her eyes and like knock it off, and she'll like try to get Party to go back in his pouch. And she's just kind of staring at him, waiting for him to do something.
The Viper has a fucking snake. Of course she fucking has a fucking snake.
Don't hold that against him. That's not his fault.
All right. I've had a little bit of time to cool down. First and foremost, I don't know who the hell you actually are. And I don't mean the Viper, you smartass. You need to give me your name.
Zelfine.
You got a last name to go with that?
I have an assortment, I guess.
Sure, let's get them all.
Okay, I guess legally speaking, I'm still Goldie Songsteel. If that was ever actually my legal name, I don't know. Mostly have gone by Zelfine Notoire or Woodsoul in common. I guess I have a dad now, and his last name is Amar. I don't know if I could use that though, so we'll put a pin in that one. I think that's it.
All right. That's a list, or should be expected, I suppose, with someone like you. You said you knew Aemond. How?
Well, mostly from Barovia. When we appeared in the storage closet, we had teleported from another plane of existence, I guess, Shaladar. And we got there from Barovia when we were trying to head home, and it didn't work. And Barovia is like, what they call it, a dread plane? It's a bad place where like some mist grabbed us all and we ended up there together. Though I guess to be fair, I did technically know him from before through work.
Oh, were you the one that gave him and then like motions for where Aemond has his scar?
Through work?
Through work.
Is she wrong?
No, but like, come on.
No, that was what happened. Is they walked over to the water cooler. Eamon was wearing his suit, tie, and bucket helmet.
And then something fucking stabbed him.
Yeah, exactly.
Work stuff.
Stab him.
Silly work things.
He didn't stab. She didn't stab him.
Swung upwards, hitting him in the chin.
Yeah, she'll watch him gesture toward his chin, and she'll nod like, yeah, I just wanted to knock his helmet off, see his face and all that.
That all sounds like a bunch of magic bullshit, but it tracks, I guess, with adventurer life. All right, and he pulls out like the book at this point and flips through it a bit and goes, "There are hundreds of names in this book. How many did you kill?"
She kind of thinks about it for a moment and, well, there's, I think, just over 750 in there. So for mine, would have been about 104, maybe 105. It starts with, give me a second, I have to find the name. There he is. It starts with Yenward Rowan.
He flips to that and makes a note of it. Kind of taps his claw on there. All right. I've noticed from about there onward that no children were killed. Before then, that was not out of the realm of possibility. You got some kind of moral code the others didn't?
I mean, in light of it all, I think moral code is gratuitous, but I had some freedom here and there of picking and choosing my jobs, and I didn't want those.
With this many deaths under your belt, it's definitely execution in order.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to turn yourself in?
Well, that person that was just killed, that that we killed, the Blade brother. Riley knew her. Riley had known her before, and I'm assuming Radiance knew that and sent her on purpose, but I don't know the full story, but wherever Riley was, before she ended up lost, she'd found some form of family there, and then she lost them, and Marigold had been part of that family. And then Riley found out that she was responsible, and suddenly she wasn't. And you see what happened. The others are gonna need your help. And we couldn't afford for that to happen again. So, call it disarming a trap.
All right. I'll take that for now. So, there's been a string of vipers. Just how about do they go picking a new one?
Well, the choosing itself is fairly straightforward. It's standard trial by combat. But when it's time for a new one, the previous one goes through what they call a decommissioning. The title Viper comes from the mask itself. It's a magic artifact, highly cursed, that you attune to. And the only way to unattune from it is death.
Do you have this mask on you?
Not on me, no.
Where is it?
It is currently in a grotto in the Underdark.
Well, we'll definitely have to get our hands on that for evidence sake. Maybe I can get someone to do something about it, get rid of its magic. Why did you decide to try and become a viper?
Well, when the Zentarum found me, I was in a rough spot, I guess you could say. They promised me something I wanted so desperately I'd do anything to get it. And I thought that was the way I could be most useful to them. And then I would be decommissioned, and that would be that.
Decommissioned. I'm assuming that means that they die?
Yeah, they go through this whole rigmarole where previous Vipers promised, a retirement, riches, all of that good stuff, for a job well done. But, that's a pretty big loose thread to leave open, so Vipers will go in expecting to die long enough to lose the mask and then return, and then they don't.
These organizations always baffle me. After it happens once, you think they'd notice, but did any of them get out?
There were stories of one who did, which, you know, either they just spread that around or someone actually did just to give them enough proof to, you know, bait them with, but...
Do you know how many Vipers there were before you?
She'll try to count back. They've been around for a long time. I don't know the exact number. Some have, you know, longer tenures like mine, and then I know the one right before me barely lasted a year, so if I had to guess, at least 10, likely more.
So, do the costs of operating a Viper go right back to the Zentarum, or is this more of a distraction thing and you get the pay?
A little of both. The entire purpose of the Viper was to draw attention away from what the Zentarum was actually up to. But it's the Black Network, so the vast majority of the money did go back to them. It wasn't exactly cheap to hire the Viper, but I still saw less than 1% of each job. The family was my pay, so...
You don't happen to have any paperwork leading to that kind of connection could help to bust some of the Zents down.
The book in your hand is all the record they had us keep. It's victim, and if there was a price, it's next to them.
All right. He flips to the end and points at it, gets up, and walks over and then runs his finger down some papers and goes, "There are deaths that match the Viper's MO in the recent 6 months that weren't written here. What happened? Did you just start forgetting to write down your name?"
Okay, I have a question. This is going to sound real crazy, but before I can answer that, what month is it?
What month would be approximately spring?
Approximately spring. Well, I know Tarsak is April. What comes after that? Why don't I remember? Hold on.
Apologies, I do not have the calendar of Faerun.
I did at one point, and now I don't remember half of them. Let's see. There's Tarsak, which is approximately April. There is Myrtle, which is approximately May. Chess, if you want to go back to March.
Yeah, it's about May, so...
Alright, so then that would be Myrtle, the melting.
It's Myrtle. In the 10th? Yeah, that's about it. He, peeks over at his desk calendar. And he, flips
Percy
it.
sometimes forgets what day it is.
He looks
That's
at it. Well, he flips it because he hasn't been here in the last couple days and goes, "Yeah, the 10th.
DM, approximately when was it when we got pulled into Barovia?
It was about the fall. And you,
Okay, so about 6 months ago.
Mhm.
Yeah?
About 6
Uh-huh.
months. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Bro, I'm yelling. I'm
Self-
screaming.
Yeah, look.
I am also screaming.
Yeah, you get a look at his desk calendar. It's about 6 months since you last checked a calendar. Though you know you've only been gone for about maybe a month, half.
Yeah.
Eamon's
Yeah.
really screwed up. He told you he's been gone for 2 years.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Zelphine will just kind of start massaging her temples like, yeah, you're not gonna like this one, but that definitely wasn't me. The traveling through planes that I said we'd been doing, the time doesn't work the same. It was like Uktar when we left. It was the fall. And now it's not the fall, according to your little desk calendar that I am assuming is correct, so that's cool. So 6 months you said. Yeah, that's not me.
Well, that's just wonderful. Perhaps they've decided that you've been gone too long and tried to get somebody else involved. Though, if you said that it's connected to this mask, then they don't have that. Perhaps that's why they were interrogating me. Maybe they thought I knew where that was. As I said, what you've done definitely warrants execution. But we have the Brotherhood to deal with. And now it looks like they've already got another Viper in the wings. If you can help me take care of that, I could argue for a lesser sentence for you.
If you can help us with the Brotherhood, then frankly, I'm not too concerned with the sentencing.
He kind of looks you up and down and goes, all right. Well, I very much would like to end the Viper's reign. So if we can deal with that somehow. But as I said, I will definitely help you with the Brotherhood. I already promised Wesley to look after his sister. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to hold off on arresting you for real until the Brotherhood is dealt with and we deal with this external Viper nonsense. However, you are officially in my custody, and if you give me any indication that you are going to escape or commit an unlawful act, I will be forced to lock you into a cell until I can deal with you. Do I make myself perfectly clear?
She nods.
All right. Well, I don't know what we're going to do with the rest of the day, but I'm going to go eat more cookies. And he just kind of gives you like a look and goes, I'll know if you leave. And he leaves again.
Delphine kind of dissociates for a moment, trying to figure out what the fuck that means.
Slam cut to him just perched in the hallway staring at the front door.
While Zelphine's sitting in the study like, did you fucking hex me? Did I know if you hexed me? What the fuck?
Delphine trying to process somebody like being a lot cooler to her than she expected in this moment.
She's gonna go try to check on Riley, but as she leaves the study, she pauses like right in front of the doorway and is like looking at like the line of steps of the doorway and kind of like doesn't step on it, steps over it, and waits a moment. It's just like, what the fuck?
It's like Brimstone walking to a fucking church. What just happened?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
She doesn't hear any like bells go off or anything, so she's gonna head upstairs.
Yeah.
Huh, I didn't explode just now.
You basically see him like with his fingers interlaced staring at the door. Like sitting back
So
on the
his
couch.
plan is just to watch the front door?
Yeah.
Good plan.
Holy fuck.
Did you guys you guys also know you guys also know he has a griffin up on the top floor.
Yeah.
Watching the windows.
She she looks at him for just like a split second, not long enough to stare, and then like as she's heading up the stairs, she's thinking to herself, "So what? He's just gonna watch the door? Unless he's hexing the door. Oh fuck!"
Yeah. And as you walk upstairs, you kind of hear the thump, 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 thump of big feet, kind of pacing back and forth.
Aww.
On guard duty.
If she meets him at the window, she will wave to Bernard.
And he goes, "Wah!" and pats his little feet. It's more
Okay.
Bernard will not let you leave because he likes you. Percy will not
Yeah.
let you leave because he doesn't trust you.
Yeah, she'll just kind of like, okay, one friend, I'll take that. And she'll go peek in on Riley, who I'm assuming is still asleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much. Like, after zoning out for a while, disassociating, she definitely fell asleep in that weighted blanket.
Yeah, well, she doesn't want to be like weird and just sit in there while you're asleep, but she also doesn't really know what else to do, so she's gonna sit in the hallway outside the room.
Fair.
Cool. So as you guys get all settled in, we'll cut back to the jail. And at this point, Brimstone, the gate opens, and a guard grabs you by the arm and starts leading you along upstairs.
I will I'll just look at him and say, I can walk on my own. I'm not gonna do anything. Just don't have to be rough.
Sir, this is protocol. And he kind of lessens his grip a little bit, but still pulls you along.
Okay, I'll just go with him.
Yeah. It leads you upstairs. And Aemond, you've been led out as well into what looks like a little office. And behind this dwarf-sized desk is Tormund, kind of rubbing his temples again, going, you two. Minerva's gone. Don't have to worry about that anymore.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm going to worry about her probably for the rest of my life.
That's actually probably a good way of going about it, frankly. Well, as it comes, murdering a citizen with justification is exile up to 5 years or hard labor, or up to 3 years of damages, up to 1,000 gold paid to the victim's kin. 2 people were murdered, but as they summoned devils, we're going to lessen the fee to 1,600 gold.
Brimstone begins patting around to his pants. I just left about that. I just spent my last 1,600 gold on fucking bullshit. So I'm
Mine is
sorry.
in
I'll
the
have to get back
evidence
to you about
locker.
that.
Sorry, Amy, can you repeat that?
Mine is in the evidence locker.
All right. And yeah, he kind of waves, and this goofy-looking teenager comes, kind of dressed in a half-watch outfit, comes in and goes, "Sir, I got," and he pulls the stuff and goes, "Got everything," and basically has your entire, all your weapons and stuff, in a, awkward handhold, and he, puts them down on the ground and goes, "There's your..."
You really couldn't have taken 2 trips. I have a lot of shit.
"No, sir."
It's like 160 pounds of equipment. How strong is this kid?
He smiles and goes, "I'm very strong, sir. It's the one
Consider-
thing I'm good at." And
Have you considered becoming a paladin?
yeah, you take one good look at him and you realize this kid's got a little bit of orc blood in him. He's got little pointed ears and the hint of fangs in his teeth.
I say to him in Orcish, have you considered becoming a paladin?
He replies in Orcish, goes, "No, sir. I'm not really that religious. I'd rather work for the Watch."
I'm just fucking picturing Mike Meekins from Ace Attorney.
Aemond is,
Just an orcish Mike Meekins.
Yes. Perfect.
Eamon is going to fish around in his bag and pull out the giant sack of platinum that he took from Strahd's hoard. So you said 1,600 gold, right?
That's correct.
It's 160 platinum, I believe.
That is also correct.
So Eamon will annoyedly and a little bit sadly dole out 160 platinum.
This is
that's half my
the
money.
most money Brimstone has seen in his life.
Yeah,
Sorry, you
Strahd
just-
had about 220,000 gold pieces in his treasure hoard.
That you found.
Yeah, that would the rest. There might be more. Also, that doesn't count the value of all the magic items.
Yeah, also, given that Barovia is a closed system, that's pretty fucking impressive.
I guess it's all from adventurers.
Must be, yeah.
That makes actually a lot more sense when you say it's all from adventurers.
Yep.
Unlike us who brought we actually took more out of Barovia than I think that we brought in.
We
Yeah.
brought it freedom, Eamon. Brimstone. Look, I wanted to buy some new armor, and I maybe took a little bit. I wanted new armor. I'm not perfect,
I did-
okay?
Tormund, was it? I did want to ask, as regards to the body of, Mordai.
Look, son, I'm sorry I can't give you that body.
What's gonna happen to him?
He's going to be under observation for a little bit. If we can't find any next of kin, as you said, they don't exist, then he will be cremated.
Can I at least request the ashes?
Again, son, I'm going to need some paperwork. Afraid that's just how things go around here.
I can do the paperwork.
You can prove that this man is related to this Mordai.
I mean, we're not related, but I can tell you everything about him. We grew up together. He was born in late spring. He liked going fishing. He knew how to play the harmonica badly. He killed every plant he ever touched. We weren't related, but he was family to me.
Son, I know
Oh.
how much that kind of thing can mean, but
You saying I can't give him the rest he deserves because of bureaucracy? Because that's the way things are done in the city?
there are rules that have to be followed, son.
Is there any way I can make a requisition for his body or his ashes? Without next of kin.
I'll look into it, Amond. And I'll have to
Look,
get back to you.
I know I've asked a lot from you, Tormund, and I really do appreciate it. And I'll thank you.
As I said, I will not fudge any rules, but I'll find something.
Thank you.
It may not
It
be
means
for
a
a
lot.
bit, though. I am a little drowned in paperwork with all the current goings on in the city.
You know, that's fair. You know me. If you need me to do some more clerical work around here, I would be happy to. I would oblige.
Well, right now, what I need is my captain back. I don't know where he's been the last little while. He hasn't done his paperwork for the last month. And his assistant has been missing as well. So if you happen to know where Captain Silverton and Lieutenant...
Wait, the assistant or someone else?
Sorry, what?
That. Never mind. You sometimes call me Percy's assistant. Anyways,
No,
Lieutenant
you
who?
just cut out. I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, me assistant or someone else assistant?
No, not you. His actual assistant that's on our payroll.
Okay. He's missing too. Old person who I would know the name of in canon, but Daniel doesn't know his name.
Lieutenant Wesley Yassault.
Oh no, not Wesley.
He hasn't checked in the last few days.
I think I know where they are.
Well, good, at least somebody does.
Have you checked his, well, the long story? I don't know how much of it I should share. But Percy should be back at his house. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think Aemond would know that.
No.
Never mind. I'm sorry. It's hard to keep track of what I do and don't know in game.
Yeah. What you know is that he was taken by the Brotherhood, and Zelfine was sent people out to look for him. So.
Oh, so Aemon would definitely tell Tormund that Percy has been kidnapped by the Brotherhood. Percy's been kidnapped by the Brotherhood.
Oh, well, that's just lovely. Well, we'll have to put out a search team for that. Wouldn't happen to have a first idea of where that might be.
Well, we were working on it.
Well, I'll
I know
put
it doesn't
together...
seem like it because given that we just, did some murders, but we were working on it.
Yeah, wouldn't call them murders, but
I would call them murders, Eamon.
okay. Well, if you hadn't called them murders, I would be 1,600 gold pieces richer right now, but that's really not my main concern. I apologize. That was very insensitive. I should think about what you're going through instead of my wallet.
Eamon, I need you to stop talking about this right now.
Okay.
And Tormund is rubbing his temples again and goes, I'll put together a search team. I would like the two of you to leave.
All right. Gonna leave now. Thank you, Tormund.
And he gives you a little wave and goes, keep your heads out of trouble. I won't be so lenient next time.
We'll do our best, Tormund.
As we're leaving, after we get out the door... Sorry, did you have anything?
Yeah, I was actually gonna... Eamon was gonna say something to Brimstone, but you go first.
As we're walking out, Brimstone's gonna look at, after we get away from the office a little bit, and, we start heading back, presumably to Percy's house, I'd imagine, because that's the last place we need to go. Brimstone's gonna look at Eamon, he's gonna have, a little... a furrowed brow, and he's gonna say, Eamon, is there any way to... I don't know anything about clerics or how to deal, any of that kind of stuff. Is there any way to talk with the spirit that's moved on? It happened a couple times, where you could seance with with the dead. My grandmother did it a couple times in the village. Is there any way to do that? If we could just ask Mordai.
You mean to speak with the dead?
Yeah, is there
Yeah,
anything
it's a spell
like
called
that?
Speak with Dead.
Oh, well, shit.
Before we get to that, Brimstone, I need to tell you off a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I know you like throwing yourself in the way of danger and trying to take the heat for everyone and being that impenetrable wall between your friends and everything that could potentially harm them. But sometimes you doing that ends up harming them. Because if you had done what I asked you to do and left, and I understand you were going through a very rough emotional time, and I understand why you were in that traumatic situation. I get that. I've watched people I love die. I've watched them killed by other people. It's the most harrowing experience you can possibly experience. But if you had left, I would have been able to explain. I would have not been, you would have not been sent to jail, and maybe we would have been able to prevent Percy from being kidnapped or gotten him back from the Brotherhood a little sooner. And you need to understand that sometimes putting yourself in more danger is not what's going to make the people around you more safe.
I understand that, Eamon. I know it wasn't smart or helpful or the right thing, or I know it.
And let me finish. You were grieving. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it.
I need to explain. I understand that it probably could have made things easier if I had run, if I had gone with you, let you have an opportunity to explain. 7 years, Eamon. I had been living for 7 years under the assumption that everyone I knew and loved was dead. 7 long years. 5 of which I spent in a cell where the only company I had was the voice of a devil in my head, egging me on and just twisting the knives and just making things, just coaxing me towards something with promises of freedom, and eventually I relented to that. And then to, in one moment, learn that I was wrong, that there was some hope that somebody had lived, and then in the next moment to watch the blood drain from them and see my own hand soaked in that blood.
It's not your fault, Brimstone.
No, Eamon, in this case it is my fault. And it may not be the smart thing to do, but it is the wrong thing to do to not admit that. No matter what the situation is, no matter what happened, no matter how much I could or couldn't have avoided it, the fact is, I killed a member of my family. And I might not have known that it was him then. I might not have been able to stop it. But it was my hand that ended his life. And in that moment, to run away from that, regardless of the fucking bureaucracy that came along with it, even though this is just, it was just formality in the way that Waterdeep does things, to run away from that would be to lie about who I am and why I'm here. I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry that it made things harder. And
Brimstone, don't you dare apologize to me.
Let me finish, please. I promise in the future I will think more about how it affects the people that are living, because you're right. Those who are dead, and we can't change that, and it is a disservice to the living to act in fealty to the dead when there are things that are better served. So yes, I need to do better. But
I do.
I can't run away, and I couldn't run away from Mordai or what happened with my village. And that moment to run would be to forget that.
Brimstone, when I was in Barovia, Craig just left. We'll want to just continue without him, or do we?
Let's see if that helps. He got unexpectedly disconnected. Is it the other way?
It's because we were insulting him. Craig, we're sorry. You're a beautiful boy.
Get back here, Craig. You have one job.
I'm not sorry, Craig.
Eamon will turn to Brimstone and is going to give him a big hug and say, Brimstone, when I was in Barovia, I realized I had waited 15 years to grieve for my father. I try to move past these things. I try to keep moving forward. I try to pretend that they don't affect me. And they clearly do. I think it's plain to see. And I understand. I don't want you to think you did anything wrong.
Brimstone is just going to... He's just going to hug Eamon back and just... He's not gonna say anything and just kind of... He's probably gonna sniffle a little. Just hug him tight.
All right.
You're a good friend to me, Eamon.
Brimstone, the feeling is more than mutual. You have been someone with whom I feel I can trust my life. Now let's go find that blue oaf and hope he's not dead.
Brimstone will kind of walk away from him, like step away from him and just nod and smile, and then we'll walk back to Percy's house, I think.
All right.
And as we're leaving, I think the last thing I'll say is like, did someone say I needed to register as a werewolf in there? I feel like someone
Yes,
did.
you absolutely do need to do that.
Shit.
You can go to any Temple of Saloon. They issue those.
Is that the moon one?
Yeah, it's the moon one. There's
Okay.
also the department, the DLP, the Department of Lycanthropic People. That one's kind of slow though.
Do they have like a union?
No, they're like a government organization, but because there aren't that many, there's like one desk and it's one really tired person working there.
Are we talking like, is it like run by lycanthropes for lycanthropes, or like
It's just some guy. He might be a lycanthrope. His name's Dave.
oh boy. I think the Temple of Saloon it is.
Yeah, I was also thinking that is your best bet.
Okay.
But first, the blue oaf.
Yes. Yeah, we head back to Percy's house.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about midday at this point, and you guys make your way down.
It's funny because
Yeah,
Dave the
you just
Barbarian.
Yeah, it's Dave the Barbarian because he's he's actually
that.
his best skill is calligraphy, so of course he runs.
Oh, it makes sense though. It's the thing.
It
And also,
God.
he's
I'm
technically
feeling-
also a lycanthrope. That's an episode of Dave the Barbarian.
Oh, shut up! No way!
Fucking
Oh
Grim's
my
fucking
God.
alter ego. He's just gonna use Dave the Barbarian as a fucking code, like an alias.
Oh, that's
works.
canon now.
I'm mad.
Shared storytelling is good.
But yeah, about midday, the smells of like a lunch kind of waft through the area as you make your way through to Troll Skull Alley and make your way to Percy's house.
Yeah. Just to get up
Eamon
to
will
the-
open the door without knocking and say, "Honey, I'm home."
And then like basically a cookie flies and smacks you right dab in the middle of your forehead. And he goes, "Don't do that! The door is supposed to be locked. Did you not? You didn't lock." Okay. And then like Percy like gets out of the chair that he
You
parked
were
in.
the last person in.
No, I wasn't.
How did you get in? The window?
Yes,
Yeah, wait, hold on. Weren't you? Hold on. Let's get inside. But I thought you were kidnapped last we heard.
I was
Sorry
kidnapped.
about that. By the way,
Hi,
that was
by the
100% on
way.
me. That was
And
my
then-
dad. I
Oh, the
apologize.
tall one. Eamon, where the fuck have you been? And he like gives you an awkward like punch on the shoulder that is too soft to do anything.
You were
I've
super
been
under arrest.
in jail. Yeah, in Dumb Adventure jail.
Zelphine at this point, from where she was sitting in the hallway upstairs dissociating, will hear all this ruckus and then something about a lock, and she'll head downstairs like, I forgot, I'm sorry, I broke it, I was gonna fix it, and oh hey guys.
Eamon's
Hey,
gonna look at Percy, and then Zelphine, and then Percy, and then Zelphine, and starts sweating profusely.
He just kind of like puts his hands on his hips, but then he like points his thumb over his shoulder. So one hand's on his hip, one's over his shoulder. He goes, "So you're friends with the Viper, huh?"
Maybe we should close the door.
Okay, closing the door now, and just shut the door.
Oh yeah,
And
surprise! I told him, and was definitely gonna tell you that I told him.
I need to fucking start back on reading that goddamn health book. Fuck. I need a couple more points of Constitution.
Have fun reading your book, Brimstone.
No, I guess I have to sit through what's going on here because I feel like I should know what's going on.
Look, Percy,
Oh, Percy, you should check in because your boss has like an APB out for you.
Oh, of course he does. I haven't had a moment to check in. And he like walks over to a table and like pulls out a piece of paper, scribbles something on it, folds it, and throws it out the window, and it starts to flap. It turns into a little bird and flies off. He goes, "Okay, took care of that."
What the wait? What magical nonsense is that?
It's a paper bird.
We don't have time for that. There's
Okay.
something more. I'll show you one later.
Okay.
That should have been the first thing, but no, of course, you drop the fact that you're the Viper on me, and now my brain just goes to bleh. And he goes and sits down on his at his table and crosses his arms and like continuously keeps his like eye on Zelphine. Even if he like you address him, he doesn't move his head.
Okay.
so I feel like I owe you an
notes. Go ahead.
I feel like I owe my very good friend Percy an apology. Should have mentioned that from the get-go.
Well, I haven't seen you since now, so now is exactly the time to tell me, I guess.
Hi, I got you a present, and then Eamon's gonna pull out like a little waffle iron, but it's shaped like Strahd.
He looks at it and goes, "Who the fuck is this?"
I stole it from a
How
castle.
long have you had that?
I've had it since I got out of Barovia.
Is that Strahd?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Wait, you mean the guy from the play?
There's
Yeah.
a play?
Yeah, there's some play that's being done down the street.
I also-
Oh my, there's a play. Zelphine's gonna sit down in the floor.
Wait, there's a play about us?
I don't know if
No,
it's
not
about you.
us.
It's not about you. It's about this fella named Strahd.
Also, there's some cookie molds as well, but I'll bring those later.
Are they also shaped like Strahd?
Yes, they are also shaped like straw.
Why do
Holy
you?
shit! How fucking vain?
I'm lost because I thought you said that you were friends with this man.
I was in the kitchen when we were storming the castle, and I was like, "Oh, look, Percy likes baking." And I got him some baking supplies.
He's real big on vampires, I bet.
I still haven't seen the fucking play, so I can't tell for sure whether I'm a fan of it or not. But sure,
Oh my god.
I'll keep the
It's like-
fanware.
Long story
It's
short,
not
Eamon got you a
haunted.
waffle maker with the picture of the world's biggest incel on it.
It's not a haunted or magic waffle iron. I checked, okay?
I don't think it has to be haunted to be bad. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
It also probably should be disturbing that that's something you have to qualify.
What?
I would assume usually most presents gifted to people are not haunted or cursed.
I thought
then
it would
it's
be
gone.
cool at the time, okay?
No, this is hilarious. Make no mistake. I'm fucking rolling on the inside.
Oh, and I'm 100% using it later, but it goes on the shelf for now.
It would be
totally gonna use it.
honestly, it would be the biggest insult to that motherfucker for you to use it. Make like fucking God, garlic waffles would be nasty. Never mind.
Well, actually, if you put a little bit of gravy on
Okay,
it,
that's enough of that.
savory
We're
waffles.
not-
You put a chicken on it, get some chicken, and cook it up. It'll be very good.
Look, as good as your savory waffles are, we have more important things to talk about.
I am disassociating right now into food. So, yes, there are more important things to care about right now. But I really
By the way, I'm
want
alive,
waffles
and you're
now.
also alive.
I'm making waffles, and he gets up and he starts running around the kitchen.
What? Okay.
Keep talking. I'm here.
So, fill me in on what happened while I was in prison. How did you... I heard there was a kidnapping and you got kidnapped, but you're okay now?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was kidnapped by the Brotherhood. As I said to your other friends here, I went to check in and go, hey, everybody's dead. Sorry. And then they're like, oh, okay, I'll check in. And they called their sending stone and goes, hey, I heard you're dead. Make sure, just checking in to make sure. And there was a response in Infernal.
That's, you know what, that one was on me. That's my bad.
Yeah, well, it tipped them off that
choked
something
real
was
hard on
wrong. So they, this big tall lady, put me in irons, and they threw me in the back of a cart. And it was dark for a while, and I kind of lost track of where I was. At some point, I was in a warehouse. Some Zentarum people came poking around asking if I knew anything about the Viper. I told them everything I knew, which is a lot, but apparently was not as much as I thought. And then, then suddenly out of nowhere, these drow show up and whisk me away and drop me off at home, give me a little pat on the head and say, oh, sir, I'm glad that you're safe. And they ran off. And I was like, well, that's fucking weird. And then then the Viper shows up at my front door.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So I'm just gonna sort of lower your expectations, Percy. I don't know if anybody else has told you this. I know you're new to hanging out with us. We only met for like a little bit earlier. Probably things are only going to get weirder from here.
Oh, joy. Just what I love to hear. And he's got, like, a bowl at this point, and he's whisking something.
Okay. So...
It's probably worth mentioning that I still have that sending stone, but it's in my magic bag, so if I understand correctly, that means she can't use it?
As far as I know, anyways, once they're in the extra-dimensional space, they get nothing on the other end.
Yeah, it's like putting it in nowhere, if that's possible. It's confusing.
I'm just gonna call it a magic bag. That's all I got.
So, before you guys get too much into talking, don't you think you should bring your last member down here? She's sleeping upstairs.
I'll go get her.
Yeah, her. Did we mention the thing about her?
I know that she is Wesley's sister. I know that the
that
brother
right?
knows what.
The thing that she's that Raleigh's like a fucking magical time bomb.
No.
Oh no, he doesn't. Okay. Good
He
to know.
was not there for that conversation. In fact, Zelfin was the only. I think Zelfin's the only one that knows right now.
Oh shit.
No,
okay.
something did tell Riley and Percy.
Okay.
Just before pulling Percy aside to tell him that she's the Viper.
Right. It's been a hot minute, so I forgot about that. But Amond and Brimstone definitely don't know.
Okay.
Is Riley okay? She seemed pressed.
She's sleeping. I'll go get her, and she'll head upstairs.
You can let her... Okay.
I prefer you all being on the same page.
That page being?
Oh, you'll see. And he, like, pours the waffle batter into the Strahd waffle
He was
maker.
setting it up
He's
this whole
already
fucking
going
time.
for it.
Yeah. You smell
Already
the...
making Strahd waffles.
Yeah.
Brim will wrinkle his nose a little bit, and he'll say, "Some of your eggs that are out to date."
He looks at them and goes, picks it up and throws it out the window.
Okay, not all. Not all of them. Like some of them were so good. Like I could have told you which ones.
Cross contamination.
If one's bad, they're all bad.
Sure.
You do not want to mess with food safety. If you have anything off by a couple of degrees, then it's in the danger zone. And if it's in the danger zone for too long, then you're going to get yourself sick. Do you want to throw up?
I mean, I'm immune to disease, and my friend here is part dog, so I think we'd actually both be fine.
He looks at Brimstone. Part dog.
Okay, no, hold on. I'm not technically part dog. It's technically like a condition. It's like a medical condition.
Medical condition.
I'm not part dog. I'm like shrimp like dozen numbers. I am like a quarter hag, but I don't think there's any dog in there.
I mean, I'm like 1/8 to 1/32nd ogre, depending on which family history you believe, but...
I could be more than a quarter hag. I don't know anything about my dad.
While they are debating their lineage, heading upstairs, she's gonna peek in the room where Riley was asleep.
She probably woke up at this point from everyone yelling about stupid stuff. But she's still like laying in bed.
How we feeling? I'd let you sleep for longer, but that's probably hard right now anyway. Eamon and Brim are back, which is good. It is loud now, though.
Yeah. Couldn't really fall back asleep anyway if I wanted to. She like slowly gets up, but she's still wrapped up in the weighted blanket.
Well, if it helps, you can bring that with you.
I would like that, yeah. It's just like it's kind of weighing down on her, and she's like kind of crouchy. But she walks over to the door. She has definitely been kind of, her eyes are just like very red. She's definitely been kind of crying.
We're gonna have to fill in the others on what all they've missed.
Yeah, there's quite a lot. Let's go do it.
You sure you're up for it?
Yeah, I'll be fine. I got it.
If you say so.
She
And she'll
gives
kind of-
like a very weak fake smile.
Sylvian's just gonna raise an eyebrow at her, but then she'll kind of usher her downstairs. Where I'm assuming Eamon and Brimstone are still trying to...
Yeah, and you're suddenly hit with like the smell of garlic as you hit downstairs, and something sizzling.
Garlic pancakes, garlic waffles.
Garlic waffles.
Holy shit! Is it like infused into the waffle maker? So this is like something to go against Strahd.
Oh my god!
Beautiful.
No.
Garlic waffles as a weapon.
Percy definitely added the garlic at the request of everybody.
It wasn't a request, he just kind of got the idea, and once Percy gets an idea, he'll spend several years obsessing over it, so...
Also, don't be alarmed. The waffles do have Strahd's face on them. But there's garlic, so it's funny.
And hey, like we'll be able to stab into Strahd's face. So that's fun.
Ooh, love being reminded of that guy.
So you saw the play too?
Yeah?
He enthralled
Wait,
Riley one
pardon?
time. Yeah, there's a play.
Honey, we lived the play.
Honey, you have another thing coming.
You got a storm coming.
Thank you.
All right, so we got the whole crew down here.
More or less.
I guess maybe let's eat and figure out what to do next.
Yeah, it doesn't take too much longer, and suddenly, yeah, there's plates full of these garlic waffles with fried chicken on the side, and you're not entirely sure where the fried chicken came from. Because
They just appear.
just fried chicken and waffles. And, like, he puts a
Perfect.
big, like, pitcher gravy boat of just gravy on the table.
Holy shit.
And
Well, I'm glad you guys are okay. I was kind of worried we kind of ditched you there, but I'm glad you guys are okay.
Yeah, you okay, Riley?
No, I'm
Oh.
not. That's fine. That's just how it's going to be for a while, so it's cool.
Do you care to explain the situation a little bit as to why you're so verklempt?
Well, one of my best friends turned out to be someone that wanted to kill my friends.
Okay,
and
good
also
reason.
corrupt people. Also, I ended up burning her body out of my own rage. And now all my wild magic wasn't even mine in the first place, by the way. Apparently, I was fed wild magic as a baby by one motherfucker Radiance. And apparently, I'm a key to an extra dimension. And if I lose my shit, that portal's gonna open and rain terror on this whole plane. So I'm not doing very well, but honestly, this weighted blanket is helping me a lot, and these waffles are dope, and I'm just vibing right now.
yeah, the waffles are super fluffy and warm, and the chicken is cooked perfectly. Again, you didn't see where the chicken came from. It just kind of appeared.
Just kind of weird.
And
Savory waffles and chicken.
yep.
So considering, I'm doing pretty well right now.
I am happy that you're doing well. Can you just scroll back a little bit to that whole portal to the death? What now?
Yeah. Apparently that's part of Radiance's plan, is to open a portal through me to like some kind of like, I don't know, demon plane, whatever, and just totally wreck this plane. It's great.
Bad.
Yeah.
I mean, considering they're summoning devils, they're probably trying to open a portal to one of the 37 levels of hell.
There's 9 of them. I
Good.
think. Is it 7 or 9?
It's 9.
Okay, I figured there was 9. I don't
Yeah,
know why I
there's-
said 7.
I'm pretty
Brim-
sure it's
Brim-
37. Yep.
Brim ravels off like the names of the 9 levels of hell. Ian can't remember them off the top of my head, but Brimson would know that pretty
There's
down pat, I think.
Avernus, Stygia, and a couple that I am not licensed to practice in. I am licensed in Avernus and Stygia, and I think 2 others.
So yeah, apparently this is all tied to my emotions, so I gotta keep it cool. Keep it
All
cool,
right.
keep it fresh. And she like stabs one of the the straw waffles.
I apologize for giving you waffles shaped like our mortal enemy then.
It's cool. It's cool. She like continues stabbing his face.
Deep breaths. In, out.
I mean,
Yeah, I just need to step out for a second, and then Eamon's gonna like walk out of the house and like out into the hallway and just fucking scream at the top, like, a portal to hell!
he's taking that very well.
Ah!
We all take it different ways.
And Eamon's gonna come back and be like, where were we?
Opening portal to hell, apparently.
Well, maybe this is like a small side interest, but I wouldn't mind knowing which hell they intend to open a portal to, because one of those has someone who I think very much is interested in me. So
That's
Yes.
always fun to hear.
oh yeah, like you don't even know, man. Other things I know, like this is less of a priority, but as far as I go, we met this wonderful fun lady, Minerva, who I hate.
Oh,
And,
Minerva, she is quite a piece of work.
I had to go to therapy for many, many years, but I didn't go to therapy, so
Wait.
now I'm still fucked up.
She is definitely called the Iron Lady in some of our circles. Sometimes a less kind version of that around when she's not around.
Yeah, the boron biatch.
Other important names. You might be able to help with that. Terrell Bladestone.
Oh yeah, that fucker.
So I want his head on Pike.
Well, if you do that within the city limits, I will have to arrest you.
Okay, I'll just ask you to close your eyes or turn around.
Okay, let's not kill anybody else, please.
Look, he is a complete asshole. I know this. Everybody knows this. But he's the kind of asshole that people like. I wouldn't be able to protect you.
He's the worst kind of asshole, the popular asshole.
Yes.
Yeah. He
has a fan club.
Oh my
Oh,
god, he has a
good.
fan club? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, we'll deal with that when we get to it. I've got some leads on where he is. But he's
Get
he's
some
definitely-
Fantascourse up in here.
He's
Sorry.
up on my he's definitely at the top of my shit list. I have a souvenir from an encounter with him in his oak from a while ago, so there's that. Anybody know anybody who can speak with dead at all?
Well,
There's a lot.
clerics would be able to.
Anybody who wouldn't mind doing it on somebody who's a convicted cultist?
That's more tricky. Wait, is this one of the people that you killed last night? That.
Yes.
All right. So first of all, you're gonna have to go through Tormund.
We've been
we talked to
trying.
him. Yeah, we've been trying. He says I need to prove next of kin. And the issue is that the man that is in question, Mordai, he's from Devil's Aegis. Devil's Aegis is a village. It's on purpose, not on any map or anything. Like it's not. Nobody there has any documentation. It was mostly fucking devils and demons, and there was a mind flare there at some point. Like it's nobody's as far as paperwork is concerned.
Sounds charming. It is out of the city, though, so if he doesn't have paperwork for him in the city, if you can prove that he doesn't have paperwork in the city, then we can count him as a outsider, and then we'll have to fill out a couple other forms. But we might be able to get you in to see him, but you're going to need to bring this whoever you want to have speak with dead with you, and you'll need a list of questions, because that's all they can do is answer 5 questions with that.
Right. Okay.
It is standard procedure as well that they might have already spoken with dead with him to get more information. So you might need to wait a bit. You can only do that every handful of days. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head. You'll have to check with the cleric.
As long as they don't cremate him before then.
No, at the rate that they go, he's going to be probably in the morgue for a while. Things have been backlogged a bit. They do have someone go in and cast a spell that keeps the body in relative tact until we can deal with stuff.
Okay. Last thing on my list of things. So I need to register in the city and also register as a lycanthrope, so I got to do that.
Yeah. You either got to go to Dave or go to the Saloon Church.
I think from what Damon told me about Dave, I'm gonna go with the Church's Saloon.
Dave ain't so bad. He's just a little stressed. Not as bad as Wesley, actually, in the grand scheme of things, but little
Speaking of
stressed.
which, where is Wesley?
I
Is he
think
here? No, he's at Korg's, isn't he?
I think he went home.
Cut to Wesley.
I think
Cut
yeah,
to
I think
Wesley, extremely baked.
We should.
Percy sent Wesley home. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he went home.
Okay.
We should probably get him here, though. Better to keep eyes on him, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably.
He pulls out another piece of paper, writes a note, folds it up, throws it out the window.
He's tweeting.
He's tweeting.
At Wesley.
He totally is.
At Wesley.
At Wesley, where you at, bro?
Come here, you fool.
I wonder if this alchemist jar makes tea. Eamon would like to shake up the alchemist jar.
Let me have a
And-
look-see.
It doesn't make tea, I don't think. It makes
No.
honey. It makes
It does if you're
oil,
not a
vinegar.
coward.
Acid, basic poison, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, vinegar, water, fresh water, salt, and wine.
Just put a tea bag in all of those, and then it's tea.
Can I do a little bit of honey and a little bit of water?
You can only. I think you can only do one.
One.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Look,
You
if you
want really like sugary, thick honey, though.
Fucking gallons worth of honey.
yeah,
Damn.
1 gallon of honey.
I'm gonna say something cursed right now. Pooh Bear be shaken.
Lord.
I'm so upset.
I said it was cursed. I said it anyway.
Look, if you want tea, I can make tea. I've got tea. And I got some sugar here, and I don't have any milk, so no milk for you.
Well, this all is great.
Yes, real great.
I don't know what to do first.
Well, how about you all decide that, and we can get working on what to do.
Is it cool that we're staying here? Do we need to find another place to stay?
Frankly, I don't think it's cool, but I need to keep an eye on that one. And he looks at Zelphane and goes, she's not leaving my custody until this is over.
Cool, gotcha.
Yeah, so he's just kind of sitting there
why?
awkwardly, not eating anything, and will kind of avoid eye contact when he stares at her.
But Sylvain didn't do anything.
No, Riley, I definitely did.
No,
Oh.
you didn't. No, you didn't.
For all
You're
intents and
fine.
purposes, she's under arrest.
But why?
Riley, he
knows.
Riley,
Oh.
Riley, he knows.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay.
Well, I think what I'm going to do with the rest of my day is go register to make sure I don't get arrested for being a dog. Maybe while I'm out, go shopping, grab some supplies, and when I come back, we'll do family soup.
Actually, family
Yeah,
soup sounds
so-
really good. I could use some family soup.
All right. You're all free to do what you like except for her. Anything you wish to do, Miss Woodsoul, will be with me. And until then, we'll meet together tonight. If any of you are missing, then we're just going to assume you're kidnapped by the Brotherhood.
Okay.
assumption.
Other thing to mention, Riley, you probably ought to stay here as well.
Yeah, I don't really plan on going anywhere anytime soon. If anything, I'm the most kidnappable, so.
Yes, well, hopefully Wesley will get my note soon, and perhaps the two of you can spend the afternoon together.
He's second most kidnappable, so I'd appreciate that, yes.
There's also the drow that will be watching the house, so it'll.
Oh, great. They haven't left, have they?
Yeah, no, and they're probably not going to for a while. I might have hired them for, I don't know, 25,000 gold worth of nights. That's gonna be a while.
Nice.
So
Look, I know it sucks, but they've got their pay and they'll do their job. Jarlaxle is a pain in the ass, but for gods know what reason, he is fond of me to the extent that he's fond of anyone who is not himself or his crew. So they'll give us some protection where at least hopefully we won't just be ambushed in our sleep.
Oh, that's good.
I'm not sure if this makes me feel any better, but at least I know they're there.
Well, given that I don't have fuck you money like that, I'm gonna go out and see what I can find.
Zelphine is going to dig out a gold piece and toss it to him and say, "Can you grab me a loaf of elven bread while you're out?"
Yeah.
That's all.
All right. And as you all settle in to spend your afternoons, I think I'm going to end the session here. We can figure that all out next time.
Yeah.
There's a lot happened.
We're all cut up now.
Yay!
Yahoo!
Everybody's on the same page.
The gang's back together.
Gang,
Feels good.
back together. Anyways, that was a great session back, everybody. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Bye.
Yeah.